In 2018, the chairman of Rangers was Dave King. A man who could bandy words with the Dalai Lama, King was adept at lobbing verbal grenades towards the East End of Glasgow. These days he prefers to throw them at the people running his old club. 6 years have passed since King predicted that Celtic would fold like a pack of cards if Rangers won a league title. When they finally did it in 2021, those words blew up in his face like a stick of dynamite in a Looney Tunes cartoon. While King spent this week firing out media barbs at the Ibrox investors he once led, challenging the lot of them to a square go, Celtic put the finishing touches to a set of financial figures showing a profit of £13.4 million, an annual revenue of £124.6 million, and cash reserves of £77.2 million. If that's the cards tumbling down, you'd hate to see them with a winning hand. The first Scottish outfit in history to spend £30 million and finish a transfer window in profit, the Parkhead Club are raking in more cash than Sue Gray, and their conspicuous wealth creates a problem Rangers would kill for. How do they spend their £100 million? In the excitement of a 5-1 rout over Slovan Bratislava, barely anyone noticed that Celtic had just banked another £1.8 million to add to the £40 million already coming their way. For Rangers to earn another £1.8 million in the Europa League, they'd need to win 5 of their 8 fixtures. Hearts would need to win all 6 of their games in the Europa Conference League. Champions League football and player trading means Celtic are now in a financial league of their own. How they use the cash will dictate how long they keep Rangers in a state of internal turmoil, or how long they prevent a Hearts and Tony Bloom player data tie-up from disrupting the status quo. Football's obsession with financial sustainability doesn't help. UEFA will restrict player and coach wages, transfers, and agents' fees this season to 80% of a club's annual revenue, plus their average player trading profit from the last 3 years. Next season, the figure drops to 70%. Even then, 70% of what Celtic earn will be significantly more than 70% of what Rangers rake in, especially when the sales of Calvin Bassey, Joe Aribo, and Nathan Patterson drop off the 3-year radar. To exploit their financial advantage, the Parkhead Club will now take fewer punts on £2 million projects. There isn't much wrong with a strategy of signing players aged between 19 and 24 with international recognition and affordable wages. Poor execution was always the issue, Brendan Rodgers urging the club to push the boat out and show a bit more courage. Capitalism in its purest form, the Champions League is a billionaire's playground where you get what you pay for. And the performance of £11 million record signing Engels against Slovan Bratislava reinforced a conviction that Celtic should now be spending a bigger chunk of their budget on the Outshine and Jeremy Frimpongs of this world, and less on players like Alexandro Bernabé and Gustaf Lagerbielke. If Scotland's automatic slot in the Champions League goes the same way as Marco Tilio, a few more Engels around the place would provide insurance for a rainy day. To call themselves a Champions League club, Celtic don't just need to recruit like one. Sooner or later, they'll need to build like one as well. First impressions count, and once they've spent that £20 million on modernising their Barrowfield training ground, the board will need to come up with some kind of plan to replace a crumbling main stand built for heroes from a bygone age. When Europe's finest players leave their bus on Champions League nights, they approach a 1980s facade and pass through a set of flimsy glass doors locked on windy days to stop them flying off the hinges. They pass some faux leather sofas in a modest reception area, while foreign journalists climb the stairs to nibble on packs of Walker's shortbread in a cramped media room past its sell-by date. And every time they do, Celtic's claims to be a Champions League club feel as flimsy as the glorified wedding marquee erected in the car park for post-match interviews. A feasibility study into the cost of a new main stand was carried out in 2022 and found that a new structure would cost £100 million, significantly more now. Chief Executive Michael Nicholson blamed limited financial capital for the failure to start building back then. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more news updates. Hit subscribe for latest news.